Hooking up and heading off down the road could only mean one thing. We were on the move yet again. Having said our farewell to good friends, we made our way along the beautiful carry tree lined Scottsdale Road near Denmark in Western Australia. We were heading for Queensland. But this trip would be a quick one rather than our usual meander. With all things going well, we'd covered the 4,000 odd kilometres in just 12 days. Quite the trip. Leaving the beautiful carry trees behind, passing through Albany and heading on towards the Stirling Ranges. We were enjoying the views as they came along, and then stopped for morning tea. Not a bad place for a cuppa. And so, after a fairly long day's drive, over 500 kilometres, quite a lot for us, we arrived at a place we decided to camp for the night, only to find the surrounding bush completely burnt out. Catastrophe for the bush, but photographic opportunity for me. Well, it's been a interesting 500 odd kilometre day, and I just decided that this trip, wherever we camp, I'm going to try and get a photo. And we've camped in a little nature reserve, or what was a little nature reserve. You can see behind me how it's all been burnt out. And we're camped just over the back here in basically what's a gravel pit. We like gravel pits, they're good campsites. Anyway, I wandered over here for a bit of a look, and I came across these dead trees, or burnt trees, they probably are dead, and decided they would make a pretty good photo. How I was going to take that photo, I wasn't quite sure, because it's very noisy and it all sort of blends in together, and I'll show you what I mean. Spin the camera around and you can see what I'm talking about. It just all blends in, and I really don't want the sky, I just want these coloured trunks and the scorched earth. But while I was here wandering around, I found this, which really intrigued me. This little sapling, whatever you want to call it, bit of growth, has come out of the roots to this tree, which has been burnt. I'll go back in a minute and show you the composition. But I like the way this bark is peeled off the trunk, and no doubt there's a ton more over in there somewhere with some different compositions. So I'm going to try, I've just tried this shot here, and I'll run you through the composition on the back of the camera. I'll just get rid of all the gumph on the back so you can actually see what we're looking at. Just highlight it slightly. There we go. So I think you can see the main subject is this little sapling with the tree, and the old dead ones, burnt ones in the background, and in the foreground you see the leaves from what's left. Tells the story of the fire, and tells the story of the fire and the regrowth, which will no doubt come. May take a little while, but it'll come. There's some more over here. I can see some more growth over here. Anyway, the shots that I took at a 20th of a second and f11 and ISO 200. So I actually think that shot's done. I might come around a little bit more around this side and see if I can get some more of that bark, and then I'm going to try panorama. across here with those trees and use some longish exposure to try and just gather as much data on the sensor to make the panorama as I can. So I'll have a bit of a wander around, see what I can see with this one, and then try the panorama. So this one's going to be a little bit trickier. I've just moved from just over here. I've only moved a couple of feet this way and found something that I like. And it's going to be a two-shot pano. First one will be to grab this area here and some of the tree in the bark. And the second one will include that little guy there. The problem I've got is that there's a little bit of a breeze blowing, and of course that little sapling will move. If it's in the first shot, it could be a bit blurry, could be an interesting composition, or interesting result I should say, not composition. So at 350th of a second, so maybe the blur won't be a problem, it'll just be the where the little sapling ends up in each photo. So F4 for that blurry background, and one shot. Loosen the tripod off, move to there, double check my focus, which to me it looks a little out of focus. It's a little better. And shot number two. Wouldn't you know that the wind didn't come and move that little sapling. Try it again and see what you get. Yeah, that won't work. And right, well, I've tried a few different things, different ways of doing things, and I'm doing some panos at the moment, and I've put the Nissi filter, this here, onto the camera, and I'm doing a pano with it. Each shot is 15 seconds in duration, and that's quite a long time. So they're setting 15 seconds at ISO 100 at f11, and I'm overlapping by about 50%. Should have showed you what I was doing. I've got to get used to doing this, showing you the screen and doing the same, what I need to do at the same time, so you can see what I'm doing. We'll try it with the next shot. Anyway, I'm taking this little area here, these trees here, as the foreground, or the foreground interest, and the others should blur off into the background. Once I've done these shots, I'm then going to try a what do you call it? An intentional camera movement, because I think going that way with the camera, or maybe even that way whilst the shutter is open, could provide a good an interesting shot, such as I took some time ago down at near Collie, at Hoffman's Mill I think it was, and it was an exceptionally good shot. It came out really, really well. I was very pleased with it. So I'll keep taking these shots and show the result. Alright, so I better head back now and make sure Joanne's okay and continue on with the rest of the day. All I can say is that whilst that looks easy to take a photo of, it's really not, and you probably need to spend a good half a day wandering around there taking phone shots and then working out how you're going to do the various shots and hoping that the wind is going to play ball. And might be one of those places where you really need to have an idea of the type of photo you want to get before you go blundering in there like I did. Anyway, nothing ventured, nothing gained, and we'll see what comes of it. And if I spin around, you can see us parked up over there. I'll cross this dry dam and head back for the rest of the evening. Alright, day one from nature reserve near Cascade in Western Australia, and a few more days to come.